Hi, welcome to the final algebra tutorial, Advanced Cumulative Algebra. We have decided to include today's tutorial to give you more practice when working with advanced algebra type questions. In terms of what you need to know to progress with this section, you need to have mastered the previous 6 algebra tutorials, and you obviously need to be familiar with your grade 10 work. We will begin by looking at a few examples which I want you to do on your own. Thereafter we'll work through it together, and then I'll give you an exercise at the end. Press pause on your DVD player and have a go at these. Welcome back. You'll notice that the first one I gave you to do under simplifying was actually one that included exponents and not so much the algebra we've been doing in the previous 6 tutorials. Please note that even though it is not directly a part of the algebra I've included in the tutorials, simplification is a technique that you've got to use with exponents and algebra and everything put together. Maths is all interrelated. The first one read a to the power x plus 3 plus 2a to the power x divided by a to the power 3x minus 4a to the power x multiplied by a to the power x minus 2, and I made that over 1. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to break up my exponents. That's going to become a to the power x multiplied by a to the power 3 plus 2 multiplied by a to the power x, all of that divided by a to the power. Now notice there's an a to the x there and then a to the x there. So let's try and take out a common a to the power x, because there's an a to the x there as well. So this will become a to the power x multiplied by a to the power 2x. 2x plus x is 3x. Minus 4, which is 2 to the power 2, multiplied by a to the power x. And that's multiplied by a to the power x minus 2 over 1. Take out a common a to the power x. That's going to leave us with a to the power 3 plus 2 divided by a to the power x, which leaves us with a to the power 2x minus 2 to the power 2 multiplied by a to the power x minus 2 over 1. That's going to cancel. The a to the power x and the a to the power x cancels, which leaves us with a to the power 3 plus 2 divided by, now look at this, a to the power 2x minus 2 to the power 2. Aren't both of these squares? Can't I make this a to the power x to the power 2? Difference of 2 squares. This can become a to the power x minus 2 multiplied by a to the power x plus 2 multiplied by a to the power x minus 2 over 1. That can cancel with that, which leaves us with an answer of a to the power 3 plus 2 divided by a to the power x plus 2. Can I simplify it any further than that? No. Leave it in this form. This is your simplest form. The second one I gave you to do read x cubed minus 4x squared plus 4x divided by x squared minus 2x. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start by taking out a common factor. Always try and look for the common factors. It usually is a very good place to start, and you'll see why. common factor of x from the top and from the bottom a common factor of x to leave us with x minus 2. The x's can cancel. That leaves us with x squared minus 4x plus 4. Once you've taken out a common factor, then a good idea would be to try and factorize as far as possible. This can factorize into x minus 2 squared divided by x minus 2. 1x minus 2 at the bottom will cancel with 1x minus 2 at the top to make that x minus 2 to the power 1, which is our answer. I'm going to need a few for this one. The third one I gave you to do read x minus 6 over x plus 1 divided by x minus 6 over x plus 1. It looks complicated, I know, but it's actually remarkably easy. Isn't x minus 6 over x plus 1 the same as x minus 6 over x plus 1? So isn't this the same as basically a over a, or b over b, or k over k, whatever you want to give it? And that's equal to 1. But let's see how this works out. X minus 6 over x plus 1, I'm going to say that is our numerator divided by our denominator, which is going to equal x minus 6 over x plus 1 multiplied by tuple times x plus 1 over x minus 6. They cancel, that gives us an answer of 1. The fourth one I gave you to do is not as easy. The fourth one reads x over 9x plus 4 plus 9x minus 4 over 3x divided by 1 over 18x plus 8. What I'm going to do with this one here, I'm first going to start by simplifying the top, if I can. In this case I can't. What I'm going to do is I'm going to convert it to a common denominator. My common denominator at the top, is 3x multiplied by 9x plus 4. I had to multiply that by 3x to get it to that. What I do to the bottom, I do to the top, so that will become 3x squared plus 9x minus 4 times 9x plus 4, because I had to multiply this denominator by 9x plus 4. What I do to the bottom, I do to the top. So that will be 9x plus 4 multiplied by, 9x minus 4 multiplied by 9x plus 4. That's all divided by 1 over 18x plus 8. I'm going to simplify that, take out a common factor of 2 to give me 9x plus 4. That's going to equal 3x squared plus 9x minus 4 multiplied by 9x plus 4. That is difference of two squares. If I multiply that out, that will give me 81x squared minus 16. And that's all divided by 3x multiplied by 9x plus 4. Let's leave that as is for now. Divided by 1 over that whole thing, or multiplied by that whole thing over 1. So it's multiplied by 2 times 9x plus 4 over 1. 9x plus 4 and 9x plus 4 cancel. That will leave us with 2 multiplied by that divided by 3x. Now 3x squared plus 81x is 84x squared minus 16 multiplied by 2 divided by 3x. This is the simplest form we can get it to, and so it's sufficient to leave it here. The next 10 I gave you was all solved for x. Number 1. Read 12x cubed minus 4x squared minus 5x is equal to 0. I'm going to start by taking out a common factor of x. That will leave me with 12x squared minus 4x minus 5 is equal to 0. Factorize this. Now, how do I factorize something that has a number in front of the x squared? I'm going to try this. 12 times 5 is 60. What are the factors of 60 that are going to give me negative 4? Wouldn't it be negative 10 plus 6? Negative 10 plus 6 is going to give me negative 60. And negative 10 plus 6 is negative 4. Sorry, negative 10 multiplied by plus 6 is negative 60. Negative 10 plus 6 is negative 4. So I need to get to, remember I got to 60 by multiplying the 12 and the negative 5. I need to get to negative 10 somewhere along the line. If I break it up, I know that 5 cannot be broken up because it's a prime number. So one side is going to be a 5, the other bracket is going to be a 1. 5 cannot be multiplied by anything to give me positive 6, but it can be multiplied to give me negative 10. 5 times 2x, so negative 5 times 2x will give me my negative 10. And then I need to get to positive 6. Positive 1 multiplied by 6x is positive 6x. That would factorize. If I multiplied it out, it would go back to this. 6x times 2x is 12x squared, minus 10x plus 6x is minus 4x, minus 5 times plus 1 is minus 5. That means that either x is equal to 0, or 6x minus 5 is equal to 0, or 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. This is final. 6x minus 5, that means that 6x is equal to 5, x is equal to 5 over 6, or x is equal to negative 1 over 2. So these are my 3 x values, or 3 possible x values. Number 2. 2 multiplied by 2x squared plus x squared minus 12 I say we cut this out. No, keep it running. Just number 2. 2 multiplied by 2x squared plus x all squared minus 12x squared minus 56 is equal to 6x. This does look nasty. Don't multiply that out. Let's start by leaving this as 2 multiplied by 2x squared plus x squared. Bring this across, so it will be minus 12x squared minus 6x minus 56 is equal to 0. Please don't put an equals to sign over there. We've got one equal to sign in our equation. Let's leave it as only 1. If you have to put something there, write therefore, but you don't need to put anything. Alright. What I'm now going to do, this one requires a little bit more creativity. I'm going to take out a common factor of negative 2 here. So I'm going to leave this as 2 multiplied by 2x squared plus x all squared. Common factor of minus 2. No, why don't I take out a common factor of minus 6? Because that will make it 2x squared plus, remember I took out a negative, plus x minus 56 is equal to 0. Now I could have taken out a common factor of minus 6x, which would have been fine, but it would have led to a lengthier calculation. With this way here, all I've done is I've come to a common term. Now it does take a lot more practice of algebra for you to realize when there are going to be common terms, so you do need to practice through everything that I give you. I'm going to now say let k equal 2x squared plus x. That means that this will read 2k squared minus 6k minus 56 is equal to 0. K squared minus 3k minus 28 is equal to 0. I divided through by a common 2. Factors of 28 that will give us 3 is 7 and 4. Negative 7, positive 4 is equal to 0. That means that k is equal to 7 or k is equal to negative 4. Now remember, I'm not solving for k, I'm solving for x. I said that k is equal to 2x squared plus x. That means for this one over here, 2x squared plus x is equal to 7, or 2x squared plus x is equal to negative 4. This will become 2x squared plus x minus 7 is equal to 0, or 2x squared plus x plus 4 is equal to 0. Unfortunately for this one, I am going to have to use my quadratic formula. X is equal to minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac in the square root divided by 2a. I'm not going to go through it on screen. I have gone through it before. That will give you two answers. X is equal to positive 1.64 or x is equal to negative 2.14. For this one here, if I try and use my quadratic formula or completing the square or anything else, I'm going to get to no solution. So my only two possible x values are positive 1.64 or negative 2.14, both rounded off to 2 decimal places. Number 3 read, square root of 2x squared minus 6x plus 1 is equal to x minus 4. With this type of question here, the biggest problem I have is the fact that I've got a square root over there. So I want to get rid of that square root. The way I'm going to do this is by squaring both sides. Now I can only do this if the square root is on its own. If it's not, I've first got to get the square root on its own before I square both sides. To get rid of the square root, I square that side. What I do to one side, I do to the other. That will cancel with that. That means that 2x squared minus 6x plus 1 is going to equal x minus 4 squared, which is x squared minus 8x plus 16. Quadratic equation, x to the power 2. Take everything to one side and make it equal to 0. 2x squared minus x squared is x squared, minus 6x plus 8x is going to give me plus 2x, plus 1 minus 16 is going to give me minus 15 is equal to 0. Factors of negative 15 that are going to give me positive 2 are 5 times 3. Positive 2, so it's got to be plus 5x minus 3x. That means that x is equal to negative 5 or x is equal to positive 3. Number 4 read, 12 minus square root 4x minus 4 is equal to x minus 4. Again, the square root is a major problem. I want to get rid of the square root. I can't just yet. I've got to get rid of the 12. Is the negative a problem? Not really, and I'll show you why. Square root, negative square root of 4x minus 4 is equal to x minus 4, take the 12 across, minus 12. X minus 4 minus 12 is the same as x minus 16. To get rid of the square root, I square it. What I do to one side, I do to the other. Negative squared is positive. That's why I was able to leave the negative sign there. Square root squared gets rid of the square root. That leaves us with 4x minus 4 is equal to x minus 16 squared, which is x squared minus 32x plus 256. Quadratic equation, take everything across to one side, make it equal to 0. That will give us negative x squared plus 4x plus 32x is going to give me plus 36x. Minus 4 minus 256 is minus 260. That's equal to 0. Divide through by negative. X squared minus 36x plus 260 is equal to 0. I divided through by a negative. I can't just divide that first term by a negative. I have to divide them all. This does look very difficult to factorize. It's not that bad. What are the factors of 260 that can give me negative 36? Isn't 260 26 times 10? Negative 26, negative 10. Multiplied by each other, they give me positive 260. Added together, negative 26 minus 10 is going to give me negative 36x. And that's equal to 0. That means that x is equal to 26 or x is equal to 10. This was fun. Let's Number 5. Number 5 read, square root of x plus 1 divided by x is greater than or equal to 0. Now remember that in a fraction the denominator cannot ever equal 0, otherwise it's undefined. So start by writing down that restriction. If I multiply out the x, I'll multiply this side by x over 1, multiply that side by x over 1 to get rid of the denominator. That means that square root of x plus 1 is greater than or equal to 0. 0 times x is 0. That means that x plus 1 is greater than or equal to 0 squared, which is just 0. X is greater than or equal to, take the 1 across, negative 1. And this is our answer. We could also say x is an element of, starting at negative 1, square bracket because we're including negative 1, all the way up to positive infinity, round bracket because we do not include positive infinity. Does sound weird. Just know that with the infinity sign, there's always a round bracket. But if you left it in this form, it's fine. I don't need you to write it in that form over there. Number 6. 7 minus 8x divided by x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 3x. Again, start off by saying x minus 1, which is our denominator, cannot equal 0. That means that x cannot equal positive 1. Multiply the denominator out. That means that 7 minus 8x is greater than or equal to 3x multiplied by x minus 1. 7 minus 8x is greater than or equal to 3x squared minus 3x. Take everything across. Negative 3x squared minus 3x becomes plus 3x. Minus 8x plus 3x is minus 5x plus 7 greater than or equal to 0. I don't like that negative. Divide through by a negative. That will give me 3x squared plus 5x minus 7 is less than or equal to 0. Remember, because we divided through by the negative, the direction of the sign changed. Factors of 7 multiplied by 3 is 21. Factors of 21 that give us 5 is going to be 7 and 3. Remember, plus 7x minus 3x plus 7x minus 3x is going to give us plus 5x. Sorry, that 3 is not over there. That's actually a 1. The 3 is in front of the x. Less than or equal to 0. Because it's an inequality, that's not our solution just yet. That takes us onto the number line. The 1x value is going to be positive 1. The other x value is going to be negative 7 over 3. That's almost right. Remember our restriction though, which said that x cannot equal 1. So we know that x cannot equal 1. Because when I factorized it out, it was a positive value in front of the x squared, it was a positive 3. The shape of it is going to be positive, negative, positive. We are looking for when it's less than or equal to 0. That is, we are looking for when it is negative. So it's from negative 7/3 all the way up to 1. The only thing though is we know that it cannot equal positive 1. But it can equal negative 7/3 because there's nothing wrong with this being 0. That means that negative 7/3, x is greater than or equal to negative 7/3 but less than 1. Alternatively, we could say x is an element of square bracket because we're including negative 7/3 all the way up to 1, round bracket, we're not including 1. Number 7. X plus 2 multiplied by x squared plus 4x plus 4 is greater than 0. I'm going to start this one by factorizing that. So I'm going to leave the x plus 2 over there. This will factorize to become x plus 2 multiplied by x plus 2 greater than 0. That leaves us with x plus 2 cubed is greater than 0. To get rid of the cubed, we cube root it. What we do to one side, we do to the other. That means that x plus 2 is greater than 0. X is greater than negative 2. Number 8. X minus 5 squared is less than 0. Now this here, immediately I can say there is no solution. The reason being because anything squared is always positive. We can make this equal to 0 when x is equal to 5, so that will be 0. But 0 is not less than 0, it's equal to. So for this one, x minus 5 squared is less than 0. There is no solution. Let us see how that works. X minus 5 squared is x minus 5 multiplied by x minus 5 less than 0, which means that I've only got one value of 5. This side is positive, this side is positive, this side is 0. There are no answers, no possibilities. Number 9. Number 9 says x cubed plus 5x squared is greater than negative 4x. I'm going to start by taking that 4x across to give me x cubed plus 5x squared plus 4x is greater than 0. Take out a common factor of x. That means that this is going to be x squared plus 5x plus 4 is greater than 0. This is going to factorize to form x plus 4, x plus 1 greater than 0. My values are going to be negative 4 -1 and 0. This is the point where it's equal to 0. We're looking for greater than, not greater than and equals to. That means that it's open circles. This one is a bit trickier. I'm going to have to use a test point. Let's use a test point beyond -4. -5. -5 multiplied by -5 plus 4 is negative. -5 plus 1 is negative. Negative times a negative times a negative is going to give me negative. That means the next one will be positive, negative, positive. We are looking for when it's positive, that is between -4 and -1 or greater than 0. That means that x is greater than -4 but less than -1, and or x is greater than 0. Again, the notation can change. X is an element of round bracket, we're not including -4, all the way up to -1, round bracket, not including. And for this one here, x is an element of round bracket, not including 0, all the way up to positive infinity, round bracket. Number 10, red. X multiplied by 9 minus x squared is less than or equal to 0. I'm going to start by making this x multiplied by 9 minus x squared. Isn't this difference of two squares? That can become, that can become 3 plus x multiplied by 3 minus x less than or equal to 0. That means that my x values, my critical values, are going to be -3, 0, and +3. Choose a test value. I'm going to take a test value of -4. -4 in there will give me negative, 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 which is negative. Negative times a negative times a negative is negative. That means that will be positive, that will be negative, that will be positive. I'm looking for when it's negative. It can equal 0, so that's fine. It's a closed circle. That means that x is less than or equal to -3, and or x is greater than or equal to 0 but less than or equal to 3. We could also write this as x is an element of round bracket negative infinity all the way up to -3 square bracket, and x is an element of square bracket 0 all the way up to 3 square bracket. And that brings us to the end of the algebra section. I hope that you had fun. Algebra is a very easy section once you get the hang of it. Algebra is pretty much the backbone of mathematics. You will see this as we progress with the next two sections, functions and calculus. Before you do move on to those sections, however, I want you to go through the exercise that I left for you in the workbook.